Hello there, my YouTube friends and fans. Yes, I have picked up Oblivion Remastered, but only because it's on Game Pass. I don't think I would have purchased it, but now that I've played it, I think it's totally worth buying it. I never played the original Oblivion, but I did briefly touch on Morrowind way back when, didn't like it. And then I gave Skyrim a try about 5 years ago, and to my surprise, I absolutely loved it. Even though the graphics are super outdated, the game is super clumsy, there's just something about it that's very charming and addictive. And yeah, I was hooked. And the only other game that's similar that I played since is Elden Ring, and that game again just blew my mind and I just spent so much time on it. And now that Oblivion is out, I was like, at least I have to try it. I liked Skyrim and Elden Ring. This is like probably very similar, so let's give it a try. So I chose to be an Imperial race, Serpent birth sign, Archer class, and yeah, I wanted to be a woman too, but there was only men to choose from. So I was like, at least let's choose the best looking guy, and this is me. And I discovered a lot of things, got really good weapons, accidentally killed a soldier, took his horse, which was considered stealing. Thought, oh, whatever. You know, I had a lot of fun having a horse already, getting around super fast, until I ran into another soldier.
Break the law on my watch, will you? I'll be comfortable.
Go to jail, resist.
Then pay with your blood.
Yeah, I'm not going to jail. No way. No, I'm faster than you. Haha. So I ran. And I ran, and the guy just kept following me. No matter how far I went, he was always right behind me. And then wolves started following me and trying to eat my horse's legs, and I was like, oh, this is no fun. I cannot shake those. No matter where I go and how long I go, they are always behind me, so I'm gonna have to do something about it. And I finally got to a location where there was some buildings, and I was like, oh, this is actually quite good. I can probably go inside the buildings and have a better way to protect myself than being surrounded. And then I was like, oh, you know what? I just go up on the roof. So I was like, oh no, come on, please let me up on the roof. That'd be so ideal, because I can just take them all out with my bow. So I barely make it up there and hope that they cannot attack me. Instead, those animals or other enemies actually attack this soldier. So I'm like, oh, that's actually great. I don't have to kill this guy, which will just get me into trouble. So I just let those wolves and whatever that is attack the soldier and do it for me. And they are successful, so I'm like, yay, that worked out really, really well. But I still had to deal with the rest of the enemies here, which we have an imp and 2 wolves. And being an archer, obviously, I use my bow, because I found out the bow is actually really amazing in this game. It does a fantastic job taking out enemies. I can just always keep a distance, don't have to actually deal with them in close quarters until they get a little bit too close. But usually it works out really well, and I just love using the bow. I'm not really a fan of magic and stuff like that. I only use it if I have to. But in general, I just prefer using a bow and a sword, and of course a shield as well. I didn't remember that I came here with a horse. I'm like, where is the horse? I don't remember anymore where I left it. Somewhere up here, I think. So I went looking and I'm like, oh no, you gotta be kidding me. Is my horse dead? It is dead. They killed it, those bastards. Well, there goes my horse. I don't think I will be having a horse anytime soon again, because I don't want to steal one again. But yeah. That was that. After having just explored the world, I thought it's time for me to finally focus on a quest that was on my list. So I went to come to this house here where I had to deliver an amulet. And yeah, I talked to people and did what I needed to do. I don't want to show that here because I don't try not to spoil stuff too much here. I just looked around. Saw that they had some sheep, and then I discovered the horses, and I'm like, can I take one of them? No, of course not. I would have to steal them, and I'm not gonna do that. I then decided to check out what's behind those walls here. Finally found an entrance after walking almost all the way around it. Opened the door.
Well now, what do we have here? Caught in the act and no gold to pay your fine. I'm confiscating your stolen goods. Now it's off to jail with you.
Alright, tired of running.
Hope you rot, criminal scum.
Well, there I was in jail. All your possessions have been confiscated and you will get them back when you will be released. When is that? Let me out of here. I guess I'm not gonna get out of here so soon, so I'm just gonna go sleep and wait until I can get out. And of course, I was not happy when I read that all my skills decreased. Finally got released from jail, and then I was like, wait a minute, they said they took all my stuff. Oh, I don't even have my armor on. But I do have all my weapons, so they gave those back to me, thank God. And it looks like I do have all my armor, so I'm just gonna put it back on. And then get rid of the prison clothes, because I don't want to have memory of that. I don't know what happened to my pants, but anyway, I got my armor again. Yay. But I sure don't want to have that happen to me again, because the skill decrease is not cool at all. Then I saw this Fighters Guild, and I'm like, I gotta go check this out.
Hello, I don't think we've met. Are you new in town?
I sure am.
Likewise, I'm always glad to meet someone new. Welcome. I'm sure my mother would be glad to meet you as well. My mother owns Northern Goods and Trade in Coral.
Alright, that's good to know. Bye. And then they asked me if I want to join the Fighters Club, and I was like, no, I'm not ready for this yet. But good to know, maybe later. Then I just went on with my exploring of the world, saw some snow, came down the hill, and then saw one of those wells again that I saw before. Still don't really know exactly what they do. I think they give you power, but every time I see one, I just activate it. I think it can hurt, right? And the fun about playing a game is finding things out, right? I don't need to know everything right at the beginning. A little bit later, I stumbled across my first cave entrance. I was like, oh, that sounds interesting, but am I ready? I don't know. And then I saw something move there on the horizon. I think it was just a guy on a horse, so I decided to do it and go for it. I was like, hey, you know, let's save, and if it's really bad, I just try another time. But I ended up having a lot of fun smashing skeletons, finding really good loot, and then also finding some magicians that I could take down easily with my bow. If I can get them. Yeah. Now I have their attention. And they actually were like desperately trying to fight me with their magic. But thanks to the bow, I could keep enough distance to not let them get to me too much with their magic. And they went down easily. And after working my way through an extensive cave system, I was finally ready to leave with my pockets full of great loot like weapons and magic items and gold. The next day, I was like, what just happened? I just touched a stone and this is what I look like. Wow, am I like unbeatable now? That would be kind of cool. Let's go look at this stone again. What does it say? Remand Runestone. When you activate it says stones rest this day. Oh, okay. So I activated it and now it's gonna you have to wait another day for it to work again. But anyway, this is what happened to me. So I was looking for my first victim and there he is, or she. An imp. See how... Ooh. What? That was awesome. He went down in 1 or 2 stabs. So definitely happy about this, but what happened to my weapon? It is no longer shiny. It's now what looks like a bloody bone sword of some sort. So I was a little disappointed. I'm like, am I stuck with this now? But hey, you know, maybe it's awesome. So let's not complain just yet. Thankfully, a wolf arrived shortly after, so I could test this like new sword all of a sudden I had. I was like, alright, still better than the other one, but not as great. And then I was just walking around and all of a sudden my sword transformed back to my original one. And so I learned that this special effect doesn't last that long. Bummer. I entered a shop and this guy started talking to me.
Don't be shy. Join us and do well by doing good.
The Fighters Guild again.
Bernadette Pennelis works over at the Tamika Winery.
Yeah, I'm always good for rumors, but not ready for the Fighters Guild yet.
Be seeing you.
Yeah, and then I ran into this fun character.
Someone should teach you some... I'm Elsie Godhater. Yes, I hate the gods, all gods. They can all bite my garters. And if you don't like it, you can bite my garters too. Leave me alone.
Wanted to talk more with her, but she didn't want to. Oh well. But what I actually came here for was to deliver this plant called Nerroot, which we all know from Skyrim. I was busy plucking them and I was very proud that I had enough to give to this guy here.
What brings you... So, you've brought something for me to examine?
Yes, check this out.
Yes, this is a genuine Nerroot sample. Very nice quality, in fact.
Thank you.
That gives me an idea. Since you already know what they look like, do you feel up to a bit of a collecting expedition?
Sure.
You bring me 10 samples of Nerroot, and I'll make the elixir available to you at a huge discount, as well as give you one for free. Good luck, and hurry back with more of the Nerroot.
I didn't really know what this elixir was for or about, but I was like, oh well, I'll take on the challenge. And then of course I wanted to find that wife of this guy that has a store. And I believe I found it.
Not so loud.
And that's actually really the first time I believe
What can I interest you in?
I sold anything to anyone. So I was definitely excited because I'm always overburdened, of course. But on top of that, I also desperately needed money. I had only 644 gold at this point, which I believe didn't even like buy me a horse or anything exciting. So yeah, I knew this is something I had to work on.
Come back and see me again.
I sure will.
I'm through talking to you.
Okay, bye. So while eagerly looking for Nerroot, which always grows near water, I also checked out the harbor and everything around this city and this castle, and I accidentally found something that I don't know if I would have found otherwise, which is this cave down here, super hidden. Not really a good way into it besides going in the water, but it was filled with skeletons that used to be pirates. I had to get rid of them first, and then I could make this my home, where I can actually sleep and leave my stuff in this chest. Anything that I don't want to carry it around. Oh my god, I was waiting for something like this for such a long time, so I was stoked when I found this. And I also found out that I don't really need to sleep to gain strength, but I can sleep to upgrade my attributes, which is always exciting every time I can, especially getting the strength up so I can carry more, and of course the agility for the combat. So this is always an exciting moment. And then the pirates left me a sword here on this table, as well as a bunch of free lockpicks. And then there was an interesting wanted poster on the wall, which I would be learning a lot more about later on. Then someone sent me on a pilgrimage where I have to go pray at certain locations. So I found this by accident. I was actually not looking for this. And I'm like, oh, here's the first one. Great. We already have one off my list. Here we go. It's telling me even. So I was really happy about this because I could check one off my list. As you can see on this map, there's many more I have to find, and this map is really small. You can't zoom in, so it's gonna be hard to find some of those locations. But I'll just see if this happens by me just exploring, and I probably will just stumble across them as I go. I'm in no hurry to complete this anytime soon. But then I found another one of those stones. I was like, ooh, let's go touch it and see what happens. Do you seek its conjured weapon and armor? Yes, of course. Woo. Oh, so I have a cool bow now and a cool helmet. Wow, look at that. I look super scary. So I can't wait to test it out, of course, but I have to find some enemies first. So there was one, just waiting in line. Okay, 2 arrows versus maybe 5, not bad. But those guys were just too annoying, so I just used my new pirate sword that I found in the ship. And they left me a bunch of bones. Thank you. And nearby was a fortress, so I was like, what is the difference between a fortress and a cave? Because it looks the same to me, basically. Well, one of them is more like a basement, but in general, it's kind of like the same. And this is very good to try out my conjured weapon, which I think just kind of stopped being a conjured weapon at this point. But I still had fun going through this and, you know, playing cat and mouse with those guys. Did not realize that it said they're vampires. Again, we have a vampire witch hunter coming at me now. So, yeah, this basement of this fortress was filled with vampires. And at first I was worried about it, but then I was like, they're actually not that hard to take down. They're not very smart. But then look at my face. What the heck happened to my face? Well, I didn't think much of it and just went on my merry ways, exploring, having fun, playing peekaboo with the crabs, and there was so many. They always follow you. I usually wait until there is enough of them and then I take them out all at once and then I have a really yummy dinner of crab cake. No, just kidding. But I just had so much fun collecting all this Nerroot everywhere and I found so much. More than I needed. So I went back to the house I was before for a quest and this guy told me he's gonna give me a horse. Just like that. Look at that. I couldn't believe it that I could just take this horse without getting in trouble. So, of course, I was on cloud 9. My own horse. Finally. But yeah, one thing I realized that it's not always so good to have a horse. But at this point, I just enjoyed the moment. And then I had to go and do my job, which is doing real quests. I did not like this because I was ripped out of a world that I liked so much into this evil atmosphere here with evil creatures. Everyone just wanted to kill me. It was dark and depressing and scary and I couldn't wait to get out of here again. And yes, I was still using my bow successfully, switching between iron arrows and steel arrows depending on the enemy. It went really, really well and I finally found out how to get out of this hell by touching this ball. And this is definitely quite different from what you find in Skyrim. But soon after I found myself back in the beloved world of lakes and grassy mountains and just beautiful vistas, beautiful music. I was happy. I also found this really cool weapon, which was an enchanted weapon that I found out later. That's why it's burning. And I had my horse. Life was good. And it was so nice to be back in a world where not everyone I meet on the road is an enemy. I can just chill and look at things a little bit more closely, like those cute sheep and the dog. And then I ran into this like inn up on the mountain. I thought that was so cool, such a cool location. And I helped them out with something that they were very stressed about. And then they gave me a bed that I can have whenever I come here. Isn't that nice? I went down to the lake and I was like, I'm just gonna hunt for some more Nerroot. It's such a beautiful day. I'm in a good mood. Let's just do that and get this all done so I can make that guy happy. And I found so many here. I mean, they are rare, but if you really listen carefully, you can like find them because they make a sound, which is super helpful. Then I read that you can strengthen your horse by protecting it with armor. Head towards the Chestnut Handy Stables by the city. So I was like, I hope I can find that. And it just says Chestnut Handy Stables. So I found it pretty quickly here, right on the other side of this long bridge. This was so important to me because I was constantly afraid that something kills my horse.
Hello there. Snotgrabura, owner and proprietor. We board horses and, well, we don't actually sell horses. Anyways, what can I interest you in?
Steel or elven armor?
Here you are. Just like I promised.
Well, I went with steel and wow, I am so happy. Good choice. It looks amazing on you. But I found out after that this cost me 500 gold. So I definitely had a little bit of a sticker shock, but I tried to stay optimistic. I just knew I had to make money, more money. Yeah, this just happened. Strange, but Interesting, because I can finally look at this guy's toenails. Ugh! Yikes! You better stay away from those feet. Look at that. Yep.
Long live the Empire.
And I found this guy who gave me a cool quest.
You know, stranger, I'm a fisherman. Or at least I was. Until one of those slaughterfish damn near took my leg off. If you head out there and bring me back the 12 scales that I need, I can make it worth your time. Help an old fisherman out, won't you?
Sure. So there I went, looking for the slaughterfish, hoping that I don't lose my leg to them. But they seemed pretty harmless, actually, so I don't know why he had so much trouble with them. And he said he gets so much money from selling those scales that he can literally retire after he sold them. So I'm thinking, I may just bring him those scales and then go and get some myself. Who knows, maybe I can retire. Look at, there's so many here. And I only needed 12. Look at this scary fish, huh? Yeah, that was my last one. Get the scales of this one. And then this one, who can't stop dancing. And it already tells me I got him, so I head back to this guy to collect my reward.
I don't know what I'll do if you don't get those scales for me. By the 9, you've got the scales. Thank you. Let it never be said that there are no kind souls in this world. I'll give you this ring in trade. I have no use for it anymore, but I imagine that they would be very valuable to someone like you. Thank you, stranger. You've shown me kindness, and I will think of you in the long, comfortable days ahead.
I want to have comfortable days ahead. He just gave me a ring? Holy smokes! 2,500? Oh, I'm rich. Oh my god. I was so happy about this, but then I read it says if you put this ring on, you have water breathing on self and fortify athletics on self. And I'm like, maybe I shouldn't sell this ring. Maybe I should wear it. And I was skeptical, so I had to see for myself if that actually is true. And look at that. I can breathe underwater, or better yet, I don't need any oxygen at all. I was under there for such a long time. It is true, the ring actually works. So I'm like, that is cool. I continued my Nerroot search and kept fighting off crabs when I all of a sudden realized, I'm like, what happened to the flame on my weapon? It's gone. It's no burning anymore. Why? So I'm like, oh, because it's enchanted. And for some reason I have to like refill it again, make it magic again. But how do I do that? So I had to go into the help section and read up about it a little bit. But I was kind of confused on what exactly I was supposed to do. Then later I found a really cool weapon on a guy that I just killed, and I had to try it out. And I'm like, dude, this weapon is amazing. I think I don't need my burning weapon anymore. I'm just gonna have fun with this one. And even though his wife tried to attack me with the same weapon I had, she didn't have any more luck than he had. And I finally found out where I can refill my enchanted weapons right here at this store. So I did. Cost me a pretty penny, but let's check it out. Yes, it worked. It is there again. Not so sure if it's worth it spending that much money, but hey, gotta have some fun, right? But then more people started to ask me if I'm sick and told me to go see a doctor. So I got really worried. And this is not the worst I looked. I had actually white eyes at the end. And then one night, I wanted to turn the time to daylight and I just fell over dead. And I was like, what? Why? So I went to see at my status, which I should have done a lot earlier, and I found out that I have something called porphyric hemophilia, which is a disease I got from vampires, so I became a vampire, and of course, I couldn't be out during the day. Ha! Who would have known? And my stage was too far gone, so I couldn't heal myself. The only thing I could do is reload an earlier save, which put me back days, which actually then made me normal again. As you can see, this is what I'm supposed to look like. Yeah, that was a bummer, so a lesson that I had to learn the hard way, but I will now always keep an eye on my health.
I might have something for you, but we can't talk about it here. Meet me at the usual place and at the usual time.
Yes, I actually joined the Thieves Guild because I thought that sounded really fun. I like stealing things and not getting in trouble for it. So I got myself a new friend.
Ah, our newest pickpocket. Go find a likely looking house. Case the joint to see when the owner is gone. When he leaves, you break in and steal some stuff.
So this game surprises me every day I play. It is definitely a lot of fun to play. There's many things that remind me of Skyrim, but also other things that make me remember Elden Ring. But in general, it is definitely an enjoyable game. Some things are a little bit clumsy. There's some bugs, of course, that, you know, it's a Bethesda thing. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet. And I hope to see you next time. Until then, happy gaming. Take care. Bye-bye.